Hi and welcome to a follow-up of our SEO tutorial. Today we're actually going to go through my website, which I've got up on the screen there for you, and we're going to work with the SEO by Yoast plugin. I hope that's how you say it. That's how I always say it anyway. So we're going to go through and optimize a page on our WordPress website. So this you can do on any website. The basic Yoast plugin is free, so I highly recommend downloading and installing that on your WordPress. WordPress gives us a great option to actually be able to install different things like that and maximize our reach as far as SEO and things is concerned. So we're going to go through and we're going to do the homepage today because this has just been updated, and as you can see here, all of my SEO dots are grey, which means that I haven't actually enabled SEO marketing on them. So we're going to go into our homepage here, and when we load up the page edit in WordPress, we get this box at the top here, which is our WordPress SEO settings. This is actually currently how our listing will show up in the Google search results. Not the greatest. We've got no real description of boutique website design and development, very broad. There's nothing, this is just taken a snippet out of my content, and while that's great, once you're on my website, it doesn't really entice you to come to my website if you find this in the search engine results. So we're going to go through and actually target that. Now, what we can do here is set a focus keyword for the page. The focus keyword needs to be something that your customers will actually be searching for. So I'm going to include a download on the bottom of the video as well, which is an ideal customer profile, just to help you work through the details of who you're actually targeting with your website. In a lot of cases, people will start off by saying, I target everyone. And while that's great, you've got a massive audience, it's not actually targeted enough to get you direct traffic. So what we want to be doing is finding who are the dream clients, the dream customers that we work with, the people that working with them just feels like absolute bliss and you don't have to worry. So I've done the customer profile for me. Obviously, my target market is generally females, hence the very pink website. I'm a big fan of pink, and I know I work a lot better with females than I do with males. Nothing against men. I love and respect you, but my flow tends to work more towards females. So that's one of those things that you can be specific about. If you target women in a certain age group, say 25 to 30, who are looking for, say, spray tans, you would then look at options of where they are. Obviously, you've got a smaller service area, so we want to target that down to smaller areas. So something for a mobile spray tanner in Newcastle would be looking for home spray tan. Something like that. Mobile spray tan is a good one. What you want to actually be doing is thinking about what that ideal customer will be looking for. So what they're actually typing into Google to find you. One of the things that I've found with a lot of my clients is the boutique website aspect. It seems to be more couture, more honest. Smaller branding agencies usually are boutique rather than being quite a large corporation and having that bigness to the business. My selling point is that when you work with me, you work directly with me, so that the boutique option there passes that along before you even get to my website. So we're going to go ahead and include a focus keyword here of boutique website design. So you can see from here, I've actually already made this a quite heavy keyword in my top. but we're going to add it in here. And this plugin is actually going to help us make sure. So it will give you some suggested links there as well. So you can narrow it down to locations and things. I don't particularly like to narrow it down to locations for me personally, because I'm working on the internet. I don't need to be living 10 kilometers from you to actually be able to work with you. I've worked with, the furthest would have to be Dubai. Pretty cool, but all over the United States, it's one thing that I'm completely location independent, so I will work with you over Skype and email, and we don't need to be face to face. So we're going to go with boutique website design. Now in our SEO title, this is actually this top line here. You can see here that we've already got a warning coming up. So our title will be cut off like this. Not ideal, and we can actually make that, now that we've clicked out of that, it gives us where we want to go, which is perfect. So we're going to go in here and make this shorter. So now we can see that this is actually targeting females, also keeping it quite short, so we've got the full text displaying in there as well, and that will increase the likelihood. So that becomes, it's in our page title. There's a few things with our page URL. It's tricky with the homepage, and if someone's got any ideas, I would love to hear it with homepage URLs, whether that's a big no-no as well. Just one of those things that's iffy, because your actual base URL is always going to be just your flat domain name. So that's one thing where we can't really justify it there, but we're going to go ahead and do our meta description. So that's this content here. Now this content's actually automatically generated from the text that you have on your website. So you can see when we go to the home page of my site here, this is actually the first content that you actually do see. So we can tweak these things, and I'll show you another plugin that we're working on at the moment, which is brilliant as well. So we're going to go ahead in here, and this is mainly going to be targeting in our search results. So we want something that's going to actually call our customer into our website, so that when they, so that when they see that detail, they'll actually want to read what we've got going on. So my spelling is shocking today. And does anyone else get stuck on how to spell entrepreneur? It's one of mine that I've always get backwards. So, okay. And we want to make this so that it's actually jumping out to our readers as well. Now this has been cut off, so our meta description is limited to 156 characters, which we see here. I'm actually over by 8 characters. The tricky thing is that I've actually, by going up here, I can see that the important part of that online shopping cart service is the one part that I want to make sure is in there, as well as our WordPress website design. This is going to give us an aspect. Someone reading this is going to think, hold on, that's suitable for me. I wanted a WordPress website. I wanted a shopping cart. This might be handy for me. So we're going to go ahead and leave that a little bit longer. Actually, we might just take out that, and then we actually get the whole thing in there. So just target it down. In most cases, one thing, when someone is looking for your business name, your website address is going to encourage you up there. So our SEO that we're working on is not so much of our brand name, but of what we're actually offering as well. So where all of my website is branded as Morris Bear, everything is all over it is Morris Bear. This is actually more targeted for a specific niche that we're offering. So we're going to go ahead and save on that one. Now we can go over to, we need to update that page so that we get all of our additional ones here. So back we come. Now this is actually telling me that I don't have that in my content. So I'm going to jump down here and go into my text box here. And we're going to just change this into boutique website design for your business. Okay, so that gives us the title. We're going to click update again. Now we can see our SEO score has gone from grey to green. So we're actually getting there as we go along. We're going to go into our page analysis. Okay, so what we've got with this one is actually using the Divi theme. So we need to take that into effect as well. So we've got things that are our red tags, our red flags are bad for us. Now we can see that we have actually updated this to include boutique website design for your business. Why this is saying that we don't have it here is because we've got this slider on top. So it is actually there, and when we can go, we'll update this one again. We can look at, so that's just a right click into view page source. So you'll notice that there's all of this text, all of that through there. But so Google actually has to read all of this before it gets to where we need them to look at. So by the time we actually get down here, where are we? So this is where we've got our boutique website design for your business. So there's a lot that's getting loaded in before you even start. We're going to go through and optimize those as well to make sure that we've got everything running at its best. We've also got our copy scores. So you want to make your copy actually easy to read, and it's one of the things that Google will rank you on. There is a brilliant website called Hemingway, and it actually works. It tells you how difficult your text is to read, which is fantastic. It is a constant refinement and a growing and a changing and an updating. So this is something that I do quite a lot. You can also go into here. I'm going to go into the social. With this, you can actually customize when you share your website address on Facebook, where it puts up the preview in the post there. You can actually customize the title, description, and image that will be loaded up. So I'm going to just go in here and add up a different, we're going to go with that one, I think. A different image, because a lot of times, because I have this image here, this text is actually created as an image so that it rolls through that sparkly text there. So that actually gets added as the first image on my website. Sometimes it'll use the logo, but because we're looking at square, it'll cut off in the middle, which is not ideal. When we're using this one, it will actually show up like this because it's actually got a gold background basis to it, and then it's transparent over that. So if we go with clicking this one here, I can see first off it's square, it's got a nice white background, it's nice and clean, and we can use that one. That one's going to be more appealing to our Facebook audience. So we're going to use that one in there. You can then also customize the description and the title that gets shared with your links as well. I'm not going to worry about it too much now. I actually want what's shared in my text to come up from there. And this will also use your page title and your meta tags to generate that as well. So only if you want something targeted to Facebook, you can change it in there. You can also change the Twitter options as well. A lot of my clients currently aren't using Twitter. It's something that I still struggle with keeping up and finding out what the balance is. But I'm seeing a lot less engagement on Facebook for my business. So Facebook's something that I'm steering clear of a little bit at the moment. You'll notice that if you go to my website and through to my blog, load it up, you'll notice that I've actually started creating bigger images, more detailed with the title, more descriptive imagery to show what the posts are about. Created some of these cool lays here, and this I just did at home. Got a piece of whiteboard and went from there. And one of the big things that I'm doing is Instagram. I am loving Instagram at the moment. It's a lot more fun for me. I'm more a visual person than anything else. So I actually am sharing a lot over on Instagram. There's a lot of different options that you can put in, but it's good to actually steer clear of the ones that you're not loving. Rather than being completely inactive on a social media platform, it's actually better to just say, that's not my thing. So that's where I'm heading at the moment, and we're looking towards actually deleting the Facebook page. It's just not where I'm at. I've actually had a 2-week sabbatical from Facebook altogether. So it's one thing, and missed notifications and things because I wasn't actually on Facebook. So it becomes quite tricky at that rate. I'm also loving Pinterest. So one of the things that we've done with our SEO is actually having social media shares is a big part of your search engine strategy. Having links back from other people, having links back from social media, all of that all actually adds to your rankings in Google. So you can see that I've actually included some options to pin pictures, share them on Facebook, share them on Twitter, which will also, as the blog grows, one of those things that I'm working on, as that continues to grow, it will actually start generating some of its own publicity as well. So on-page SEO, like we're doing here, is only one part of the puzzle. But in order to complete the puzzle, we need to do all of the aspects. So by doing this with our Yoast videos, we can actually target that one part. We're going to go through and actually keep refining them, but it's not something that you'll ever really stop doing. With your own business, it's always a growing thing. It's always an expanding. Google can change their mind tomorrow and we're all back to square one if they've decided something that they don't like. When the mobile versions came in, a lot of people have already been hit with really bad rankings and things. One website that I actually tried to go to on my phone the other day actually came up and it just wasn't a clickable link, and that was the person that I was looking for, the brand website, and it just said, this is not going to work on your phone, so we're not going to show it to you, there's no point. Which is great for a usability point, not great for a business. So there's lots of things to keep on top of that mobile responsiveness will also affect your search engine rankings. So there's plugins and things that we can get that you can actually see how it works and make your website mobile. It's not entirely attractive. It's never a foolproof way of doing it. It's always best to go with a completely responsive design, but sometimes that's not feasible financially at the moment. So a plugin is a great second option to get you there some ways. I hope that you've kept up and that makes things a little bit clearer. I'm also going to include the link below, which is just a basic ideal customer worksheet. It's just got some details to actually get your mind clearer about who you actually want to be working with. And once you've got that in your head, you can actually target each of your pages where you write on the content for your blog posts, even the pages on your website, where if you can actually be talking to her or him and actually using it as a conversation piece, you can actually work towards building that trust so that when your ideal customer jumps to your website, they immediately have this, hold on, she's talking to me. And that's a great place for you to actually start off, because as we know, a lot of it relies on trust and the relationships that we build up to actually starting a business relationship as well. So if you have any questions at all, I would love to hear them. Pop some notes in the comments below, and I'll continue on with a few other ways that we can improve our WordPress website's SEO and go from there. Till next time, see you later.